subsurface irrigation in viticulture. For several years now, Pierre's vines have been experiencing periods of intense drought, resulting in varying degrees of yield loss. Pierre wants to irrigate one of his plots while optimizing water consumption.
Yes, but which system should I opt for?
The OFIVO operational group has helped to assess the impact of positioning a drip irrigation system in the rows of vines. Aerial irrigation and subsurface irrigation between the rows were compared in trials carried out near Montpellier in the Mediterranean region. Capacitive probes were used to explore the moisture bulb profiles according to the different positions of the irrigation system. Here, in red, you can see the positioning of the capacitive probes in the soil. Compared with a conventional aerial irrigation system, see the figure on the right, the results showed that subsurface irrigation in the middle of the interrow, figure on the left, generated larger volumes of moisture bulb with better vertical and horizontal percolation.
And in practice, what are the main differences in terms of installation and the equipment to be used?
To answer this question, let's talk to Eric Serrano, Director of the Southwest Division of the Institut de la Vigne et du Vin and Coordinator of the OFIVO Operational Group.
The difference lies essentially in the installation of the irrigation pipes in the plot, which will be done with a subsoiler to bury them perfectly at 30 or 40 centimeters. In the end, the working time is identical. On the other hand, the equipment used needs to be carefully thought through. There are two major elements to consider. The first one is the filtration system. It needs to be very efficient to avoid clogging, and the filtration system needs to perform to at least 150 microns. The second one is a very important factor, the use of appropriate drippers. Firstly, you need to use flat drippers to prevent the drop formation system from being crushed under the weight of the soil. Secondly, you need to use anti-siphon drippers. The drippers must also be anti-rootlet. And finally, the drippers must be self-regulating. In other words, after each dripper, there must be regularity of flow, and regularity of water supply to the vine. In the end, the cost of installing a subsurface system is about 20% higher on average than an aerial drip system.
That's well noted, thank you. And what are the main benefits and possible drawbacks that you have observed?
With a subsurface system, there are many advantages over an aerial system. Firstly, we limit losses through evapotranspiration. Secondly, subsurface systems are more durable. The subsurface system also makes it easier to weed mechanically under the rows of vines and to manage weeds. The subsurface system also modifies the water bulb. It favors a more homogeneous and horizontal bulb. And finally, when the system can be placed in the interrow, the subsurface system improves the expansion of the vine's root volume. On the other hand, with a subsurface system, leaks in the network are more difficult to find and, more importantly, to repair. That's why it's essential to install drippers at the end of the line to monitor consumption and identify any leaks in the entire network. Finally, there is the question of the end of life of the subsurface system. When the vines are uprooted, the system will have to be removed from the plot, and no plastic will be left in the ground.
Perfect. Thank you for these points. Now all I have to do is get started.